In this forest path, I went to Lake Davis to see the sunset and hike around the mountains. When I closed my eyes, I could hear the waves that the water made, the sound of the birds flying, and the dogs that were in the water. In the distance, I could hear the cars that were driving around on the road and people walking around the lake. When you focus on the world around you, you can notice details that you normally wouldn't. I was able to observe more of the birds that were flying, the sound of the waves, and see in more detail the forests. The sunset, seeing how the sun was setting down and the moon was appearing, being able to hear the wind, the noise of the trees with the wind. Along the way, see all the animals that cross like squirrels and deers. For the second forest bathing journal, I took a walk with my dog in a pond that's in front of the house. The weather was really very refreshing. The sun was already setting and I could see the rays of light. This time there were no people walking around. I was alone. It felt very calm and with a lot of peace and quiet. I could see and hear blackbirds standing on the power lines. Every time I went for a walk, the pond looked emptier. I could see the flowers that were growing, some yellow and some purple. The grass was getting greener. For this forest bathing journal, I was out of town and decided to go for a walk in the hills through a dirt road. There were many trees all around. They were very close to me, specifically the leaves, which had leaves looked like palm leaves. They were long and really green. There were ranch where people planted their crops. I saw they planted avocados and more fruits. There were many pines on these trees. They were all different shapes and size. For this other forest bathing, I went for a walk with my dog in Grego by the mill pond. The water was a little bit cold but very refreshing. I could see the sunset, hear the fish jumping on the water, see the birds, hear a river that runs behind the mill pond, and the other types of dogs that were around and could hear them barking. See people throwing toes to their dogs for them to go in the water. See little children fishing with their parents, the flowers were growing, and the bushes were getting greener. This forest bathing was completely different from the ones I usually do because this time it was more active for sure. There was more people around me and more animals, but I still enjoy it. It was a calm and relaxing. For this last bath, it was much more relaxing than the previous time. I went for a walk with my family near a lake after swimming, where you can clearly see many mountains. It was very windy. On the way there were so many trees. Everything was very green. There were big rocks. In the middle of two other lakes was the rock, where on your left you can see the sunset down below and see very green grass. Onto your right, you can see a lake between some big rocks and the bottom with the trees and rise of sunlight. Overall, I really like the idea of being outside, getting some fresh air. Really helped me, my mind, and my body to relax and have some time to myself. Think about the things that were happening around and appreciate nature more.